members of the public.
Sorry, Kevin.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll start again. Quorum being present of the planning board, I will call this meeting to order. We are now recording. Thank you, Chris. Unfortunately, I have to read this again. So pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Freetown Planning Board will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Freetown's website, freetownma.gov. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Freetown's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Okay, so again, we have a quorum of the planning board. I will apologize again to my brethren on the ZBA. We just have to take care of this one item before we can go into zoning board of appeal, into executive session with the ZBA. And Counselor, I apologize also to you. This item again was given to us last week, and I neglected to ensure that it was on the agenda for last night's meeting. It's a very similar request that we had last night. We're looking for a transfer from on the Betty Spring Road extension, that 2-lot subdivision. It's going to be a private way, if you will, not to be accepted by the town. We were holding a lot under covenant. They've gotten to the point where they've created the as-built, and they have 2 outstanding items left. We've received the documents, the estimate documents. One outstanding item is just the top coat of asphalt, and we have the estimate at $10,000 for that. Additionally, there is some landscaping work, loaming and seeding around the retention pond and unfinished sections around the cul-de-sac. We have a grand total of $2,000 estimate for that. One is the Able Asphalt Company, and again, the other one is Deterra and Sons Landscaping. So we have been provided, Chris, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we have been provided with a request to remove the covenant from the lots in lieu of I think in this instance we received a bank check for not only the $12,000, but with the 25% contingency in the amount of $15,000. And I think I've confirmed that, right, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, so we are in fact in receipt of that. So at this time, we have a request from the applicant to release the covenant that we have on one lot. We only had one lot on the covenant, and accept the bank check in the amount of $15,000 again, which is the 25% over the estimates that we received. I did go by this site prior to a lot of the snow, and in fact, there is asphalt there. It's just awaiting the top coat, and there is some loaming and seeding. They've been having some difficulties, not only time of year, but there's been trespassers. I'm going to be realistic. There's been trespassers there, and so there's a difficulty. So they want to be able to get a building permit to get going on that, so they have more of a presence down there, so that when they fix it, they can monitor it, so they don't have dirt bikes and quads going through their stuff. Not to mention, it is the applicant's choice on which type of surety. So at this time, does anybody have any questions on this? Okay. If not, excuse me, and a polite reminder, if you're calling in by phone, it's *6, so you might be muted. So if not, excuse me, folks. I will entertain a motion that we release, what lot, Chris, is it? Was it lot 1 or 2 that we have on the covenant?
1 second.
Well, either way, it's only one. It's either 1 or 2. But to release the lot that we have under covenant for the Betty Spring Road extension, Form C subdivision, and in lieu of that, accept the surety of a cash check, a bank check in the amount of $15,000, which again covers the cost of the estimates for outstanding work and the 25% contingency. I'll entertain that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Motion's been made and supported. Do we have any further discussion on the motion? If not, there is none, right? Okay. I will take a roll call vote. All in favor? Bob Joes?
Aye.
Bob Joes, aye. Deb Robbins?
Aye.
Deb Robbins, aye. Jim Freites?
Aye.
Jim Freites, aye. And I'm not on computer, so is Chris here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Chris Mello?
Aye.
Chris Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Motion passes unanimous. Chris will do up the paperwork, and then I will ask the board members if they can get down in the next few days and get that signed so we can get the bank check deposited and we can get that process going. Chris will contact you via email or text to let you know. And I believe we would only have to have, a majority of the members. So at least if 3 of us can get down there. If all of us, that's fine. But if at least 3 of us can get down there and sign it, that'd be great.
Mr. Chairman, do we
All
have
right.
to sign? Oh, because of the enactment, can you just sign in our stead? Similar
Well,
to-
okay, I will say this, you're absolutely correct. The members of the Conservation Commission have given me authority at a public meeting. If it's the board's will, and Counselor, you can correct us if we're wrong, but we have been operating here in Freetown under the assumption, given the COVID rules and all, that as long as approval has been given, that the chairman can sign for the other board members in their stead. Is that correct?
This is for a reduction in surety?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so then I will do a consensus. I will just get yes or no. Bob Joes, you give me permission to sign for you?
Yes.
Deb Robbins?
Yep.
Jim Freites?
Yes.
Chris Mello?
Yes.
Thank you, and I will give myself permission to sign for myself. So, all right. Thank you, Counselor, for sharing and clearing that up. So I'll take care of that paperwork too, sweet. Again, I apologize to the ZBA members. Mr. Chairman, if you would like to call your ZBA meeting to order now. And then if you would like, since I already have the announcement for the open meeting law.
I don't have to read. Do I have to read it?
I would imagine you would. It's a separate meeting, separate posting.
Okay.
I was going to offer to read it for you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh,
since I-
you can.
since I-
You probably have it memorized by now.
Well, I can tell you, I do sometimes see it in my sleep when I close my eyes at night. So
Absolutely.
if you would
All right, so-
politely call your meeting
will.
to order, Mr. Chairman.
Yep. Okay. I'd like to call the meeting of the Freetown ZBA to order on February 3rd, 6:10 p.m. Let the record reflect all parties in attendance.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and now I will do you this favor here. So pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Freetown Planning Board will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Freetown's website, freetownma.gov. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Freetown's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. So now, again, this is a ZBA meeting. That we are, I don't want to say jointly meeting, but we are also having a concurrent meeting. But I think it's the ZBA ship to drive tonight. I know that the planning board and ZBA are going to have to take separate votes to go into executive session. That is correct, Counselor?
Yes, it is.
All right. So, and again, that's a roll call vote. And so I will ask or entertain a motion to vote to go into executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, parentheses 3, to discuss strategy regarding pending litigation in the matter of Ironwood projects versus Town of Freetown et al. To not return to open session. So now I need that motion.
So moved.
Make the second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? I do. Counselor, we were instructed today that once we go into executive session, we are no longer required to record this for the Zoom purposes. Is that correct?
That is correct. Actually, there's no requirement to record the open session either. It's not a bad idea to do, but there's no legal requirement to do it.
Okay. So
And
We can
I'm
still
sorry,
con-
Kevin, but I might have just missed it. I might have zoned out for a minute, but did you state? Yes, you did state the reason for going into executive session.
I did. To discuss strategy
Sorry.
regarding pending litigation.
Having
Yep,
a senior
yep.
moment too early.
That I've been having them all day. And so, it's not often we go
Not a
into
senior
executive
moment when
session.
we become seniors.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'll
did
tell
just
you.
get something from the AARP in the mail, so
I
qualify.
got mine too. Welcome to the club. So anyway, so we're voting, and again, I reiterate that it's to not return to open session. So that being said, and Chris, before we do that, again on the motion, you have the ability to stop recording this, correct?
Yes. I'll just hit the
Okay.
stop recording button.
All right, so as soon as we vote to go into executive session and the ZBA does, we're going to turn off the public access for it, and we'll still be, and we'll turn off the recording. So, okay, so I'll call the motion now. I need it, so all in favor? I'll do a roll call
You're gonna do
vote.
a roll
Bob
call.
Joes?
Aye.
Yep, Bob Joes, aye. Deb Robbins?
Aye.
Deb Robbins, aye. Jim Freites?
Aye.
Jim Freites, aye. Chris Mello?
Aye.
Chris Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Motion passes unanimously to go into executive sessions for the aforementioned purposes, not to return into a open session. And I'm assuming now the ZBA needs to do the same thing, Jim.
I shall. I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 21, to discuss strategy regarding pending litigation in the matter of Ironwood projects versus the Town of Freetown.
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Yes?
You're in open session, so I would politely remind you, you may want to caveat that with not to return to open session.
Okay. And not return into open session as well. Okay, so I'll do a roll call vote.
Yep,
Rob Joes,
Aye.
Nick Veloza,
Aye.
and Jim Freites is aye. We don't have Sweet here, do we? No, okay.
Okay.
all right,
Yeah,
so,
good. Motion-
Chris, so the motion carries, we're now going
The
to
motion
executive
carries.
session. Chris, can we ensure that we have turned off the public access to this, please?